I hope you had a nice long Labor Day weekend. I did. I spent a good portion of it wondering if I was going to sweat to death because it's been 1 billion degrees in California and places where it doesn't usually get super hot. So right now I'm in Carmel, where usually it's like pretty cool. Like it has this nice ocean breeze. It's gone. I don't know where it went. So it's been like 100 degrees here. There's no air conditioning. As a spoiled baby, it's been brutal, but I'm wearing clothes, so that's progress. Anyways, so let's talk about something I think is important. COVID and relocating. Yeah, COVID and relocating. So COVID has made it so millions of people are working from home now, like all overnight almost. People have gone from working in an office, their kids going to school, to working at home and homeschooling. I am so glad my son is in high school. I can't even tell you. All of you parents who are at home homeschooling your children, bless you. Like, you poor things. I'm so sorry. That is so rough. Like, now you know why people have said teachers need to be paid more. It's brutal. So I do feel for you guys there. But on the mortgage front, what I'm starting to see that people want to buy houses in different states. The big ones they're fleeing, of course, as I'm sure you can imagine, are the cities. They're fleeing the cities because cities are incredibly expensive. Look at San Francisco, New York. I mean, the home prices there are crazy, and that's for like a room this big. Yeah, city life. So now that they're working from home, they're like, wait, why am I spending $1 million for 800 square feet? It's a fair question. It's a fair question. So we are seeing a move from people from the city to the suburbs to different states, because as people are allowed to work remote, it opens up the whole country, which is pretty amazing, I think. However, you need to be very realistic. So if you're working from home right now and you're thinking, oh, I want to move to a different state, here's my big question for you as the lender. Can you get me a letter from your employer that states you can work remote indefinitely? Indefinitely. Because what a lot of people have right now is they have letters from their employers that are for a specific period of time. Like, you know, we grant you permission to work from home through December. We grant you permission to work from home through March. All these different letters saying how long you can work from home. Now, you may see that as, well, if I move, they'll still, you know, they're not going to let me go. Like, they'll just let me work from remote. Not necessarily, and you guys need to be really aware of this. So if your letter says that you can work remote through March, and then you switch states, and then they want everybody back in the office in March, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? You know, I don't know where you're moving. What if you're moving to one of those markets where it just does not appreciate? So then you've got this house, this asset, now a liability. You got to get back to work. And if you are moving from one of the cities, you usually have a pretty good job. Those are not easy jobs to replace. And I think that if you come from the city mentality, they are. But when you start looking around the rest of the country, they're not. No. And as a lender, we're only going to lend on you switching, moving owner occupied to another state or another area far outside of your commute range if we have that letter saying you can work remote indefinitely. So I wanted to be really upfront with that, because we have a lot of people calling us being like, okay, I've looked at 50 houses, and I'm like, well, that's great. I mean, you've got to be back in a different state in 3 months, so not really sure how that's going to work. And then you can't say like, oh, well, COVID's not going away. They don't have a vaccine yet that's bulletproof, blah, blah, blah. Underwriters are very simple. Can you work remote indefinitely? If you can't, we can't use that income, period. So be mindful, guys. Also, you know, I had someone who actually inspired me to do this video. Lovely woman, smart woman. But in her case, she has an end date on that letter, and her manager has told her, oh yeah, don't worry about it. You could totally move to whatever state you want. You can work remote forever, but the company won't put it in writing. And that's very dangerous, because if you have a job that pays you really well and you can't get in writing that they're gonna let you live in another state indefinitely, what if your manager switches jobs? What if your manager gets fired? The company's position was you were supposed to be back by XYZ date. manager's position doesn't matter. So be real mindful, guys. Lenders are definitely going to be looking at this. If a lender asks you exactly what I just did, do not be surprised. If they don't, be a little worried, because the reason we ask these questions is A, to protect the money, right? We are like Scrooge McDucks with our pile of money. We got to protect it, but also to protect you. You don't need the stress of like, oh my God, I'm in a different state and my employer said if I can't get back, they'll fire me. And I can't find another job that pays me like that. 2020 has been stressful enough. You don't need 2021 to be the year of, oh my God, how am I gonna afford a house in the city, this new sprawling mansion, right? And just don't, guys, just don't. Be patient. It's all gonna get better. We've got a couple more months in this year. Yes, I do believe magically we'll wake up January 1st, 2021, and it will be all over. Let's all put our energy towards that. So thanks for watching, and I hope this was helpful.